Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, I'm going to be telling you guys how you can become an instant millionaire by doing this one simple trick as a part of the contract DLC in Grand Theft Auto Online. And this all has to do with the agency safe. Now, I know what you're talking about here. How can you become a millionaire from the agency safe? This thing fills up so slowly, getting $250 or $500 every 48 minutes or every in-game day. How is this safe going to make us a lot of money? Well, it actually requires a simple trick that as long as you have the dedication to get to this certain amount, you're going to be pretty much set for as long as you have your Grand Theft Auto Online character. So from the contract stuff, we talked about a handful of ways to make money, the security contracts, the VIP contracts, obviously having things like your agency safe produce passive income. But one of the things you might not have known about is if you reach a certain number of completed security contracts, your safe is going to increase by a ton of money each time. So this is coming from Rockstar Games insider Tez Funds 2 on Twitter. And I'm just going to go ahead and run through these 3 tweets right now because he not only tells us what to expect, but also some questions involved with it as well. So he said the agency safe cash is capped at $250,000. Every 5 security contracts increases daily cash by $500 and capped at $50,000 per in-game day, 48 minutes. So if you complete 500 security contracts, you'll actually reach $50,000 that you'll get every single in-game GTA day. And the follow-up questions, someone said, do you mean to say that I'd have to do 500 a day to always be getting 50K, or is it do 500 to always get 50K per day? And he said 500 contracts in total over the long run. Your safe cash won't decrease after that. With another follow-up, is the arcade safe capped at $250,000 too? The arcade is capped at $100,000 and the nightclub safe is capped at $250,000. That's something we'll take a look at in a little bit. So long story short, we learned a couple of things here. The most your agency safe can have is $250,000. So if you ever see your agency safe sitting at $250,000, you're going to want to get that out like immediately, because otherwise you're just going to be wasting free money that you could be getting. So $250,000, that matches what we can get now in the nightclub. And we also learned that every 5 security contracts that you do will increase your daily cash by $500. So if you do 5 of them, instead of getting $250 every 48 minutes, you'll get $750. And that is capped at $50,000. So that means if you get to 500 security contracts completed, you'll end up getting $50,000 every 48 minutes. So in order to get to $1 million by just collecting this in-game cash, it would mean that you would have to have 20 in-game days, so every 48 minutes of collecting the cash. So that means it would roughly take you about 16 real-life hours in order to get $1 million. But I'm sure you guys rack up at least 2 hours a day now that it's the holiday time playing GTA. So if you just play 2 hours a day, by the end of the week, you're going to be an instant millionaire if you have over 500 security contracts completed. Now, I know what you guys are saying here. That's the hard part, completing 500 security contracts. It's actually not as bad as you end up thinking. I mean, I've seen players whose offices look like this. Not only do they have the award for already completing 50, but look at their wall safe. It's all the way up to $80,000. And I'd imagine that they still aren't really all that close to 500. And so when they get to 500, that amount is going to skyrocket every 48 minutes. I mean, how easy is that? Every 48 minutes, you're going to be getting $50,000. I mean, how easy is that? Honestly, what I would do is probably just once a week, I make sure I go by my 3 locations that have the safes. Obviously, the agency, going to get you probably the quickest and the most, but don't forget about that nightclub too. The nightclub's going to get you a ton of money as well, and it has the same $250,000 cap. And then the arcade, swing by that, and by that point, you might have yourself like a couple $1 million that you can earn every single week And if you're able to get it up to that, this update is going to pay for itself in pretty much no time at all. Now, I know 500 sounds like a lot, so here's some suggestions that I can do. Go for the easiest contract missions, the easiest security contract stuff. So what I mean by that is choose the lowest level difficulty. There's professional, specialist, and specialist plus. So go for the professional ones. That's going to be the pay range closer to $31,000. Now, I know those are going to pay out a little bit less in the short run, but in the long run, it's going to make things a whole lot easier, because if you are able to knock out these 500 as quickly as possible, then you're going to be getting that long-term payout of $50,000 every 48 minutes. So long story short, don't go for the money. Do the fastest one. Some players have able to report that they've finished 15 missions in about 3 hours or so. So that's actually not too bad. And once you get to 500, your hard work is pretty much done. Now, another thing I would recommend is getting some friends to help you out along the way. These missions become way easier if you have other people in your VIP agency or your motorcycle club. That's what I would do, is just do it with multiple players. It's going to make this way easier, because sometimes they can be a little bit tricky, especially when they involve taking out a ton of enemies or something like that. It is nice to kind of have backup. And really, the last thing we heard on this is some more information from Rockstar Games insider Tez Funds 2. So someone was basically asking again how this whole thing works, and he said, this is the formula from the code. You guys can see fixer count, security contracts completed. If it is above 500, your multiplier is set to 100. So multiplier and fixer count is 1/5. And then the safe multiplier amount would be 500. So long story short, once you hit 500 contracts, your multiplier is fixed at 100. And that is not going to be going away anytime soon. So a lot of you guys might have been looking at these security contracts like, you know what? All I'm really doing here is unlocking the security contracts so I can do the Dr. Dre stuff, and then I'm never going to touch them again. I think this is Rockstar's answer to that. And I think this is them trying to say, wait a minute, you might want to do these security contracts, because there is $50,000 waiting for you every in-game day if you are able to get 500 of them done. So I know 500 seems like a long way away. Maybe you complete it by the end of the year. Maybe you complete it in 3 months. But it's going to be a pretty nice payout for you. And when you imagine that every 5 in-game days, you're going to be getting $250,000, that is easy money that you will have for the rest of your life. So I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Did you know about this trick? If not, are you going to be doing way more security contracts now? Let me know what you guys are thinking in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.